But just from what I can tell, I am going to do a grade on the first 3 picks because I think I am at least versed enough, taking into account like what they bring, what the team needs, as well as projections.
Yeah.
Logan Cooley to me is an A+. Going into when Montreal won that draft lottery, and I'm not going to lie, even up until I told you at the draft party, up until like the day of the draft party, actually up until the minute Shane Wright didn't go first, I was depressed, and I'm like, I had accepted Cooley's going to be gone. I did not believe the Slavkovsky hype. I thought, a little bit at the beginning, sure. But then I kind of thought about it more like, wait, is this just clickbait? Is this just people trying to, get their name out there? Contrarians. So I'm like, okay, that's probably not it. We're probably going to, best case scenario, get Slavkovsky, who doesn't really fit in our system. What are we going to do with the picks?
Yep.
So it's like, I did not expect him to be there. I wanted him to be there. I was hoping all the projections were correct, and it would be Wright, Slavkovsky, Cooley. I said it over and over again, but that's also why I started saying, let's look at Cutter Gauthier. Just, hey, why not?
Yep.
The fact that we got our guy. The fact that... I don't care if he has slightly higher bust potential. I'll acknowledge that. That is completely fair to say. But with his booming offensive potential, his number 1 center potential, I don't think he slots in as a franchise center, but no matter what, you need a number 1 center.
Yep.
He wants to be the guy. He has the proper motivation. He has a lot of the tools to do it. That's an A+. I didn't expect him to be there. I thought another team would trade up to 2 to take him over us because centers, last year, Dylan Guenther dropped to 11 because of centers and how centers always have higher value.
Number 9.
We see it every year. Yeah, number 9. Excuse me. I apologize. Yeah. Number 9. We had number 11. That was dropped down to number 9. Tell me there are 5 players that are better than Dylan Guenther right now, as of this moment, in that draft he was in last year. I couldn't name 5. I can name 3 maybe, but not 5 players that were better than him, let alone 8.
Yeah.
So it's like it shows you how much more valuable centers are just because they're 6'2", just because they play the center position. Even if they move to the wing later, they still play center. So the fact that he was still there and the Coyotes jumped on it, they didn't take someone that did not want to be here just because it would have the analyst would have liked it because hey Wright can provide this and that. No, they took what they wanted and they got it, and to me that's an A+.
Yep.
Because you're going to use Cooley a lot more than you're going to use Wright, no matter how you swing it, because Wright doesn't want to be here, and that's fine. That's his right. Pun, but that's his right, and he is free to want to be wherever he wants to be, and feel whatever way he would feel about getting drafted by whatever team. We wanted Cooley. He wanted to be here. It worked. And look at how everyone was screaming before they even said his name.
Mm-hmm.
That tells you exactly we got the right guy.
Yeah.
And if he busts,
absolutely.
Fine, sure, I'll look stupid. I don't care. I have full faith in this kid, and yeah, that's an A+ for me.
Yep.
Anything else to add before I move on to the next?
No, I agree with you completely. I think Cooley versus the Shane Wright argument, is one going to be better than the other? Who knows? Who cares? Right? As you were saying, if Shane Wright's better, congratulations, Seattle. I'm glad you guys got a great center. Shane Wright didn't want to be here in Arizona, and we'd much rather take the kid who is going to want to play here in Arizona and want to be a difference maker. And that is important. If you are watching up to this point, I just want to remind everybody to give us a like, a follow, a subscription. I did not do that at the beginning, so begging, please make sure to do so. If you're this deep, you might as well subscribe or follow because you clearly like us enough to stay around. So definitely.
Or they're just horrified and confused by the train wreck that is the Desert Moon Hockey Podcast. They're just like, do these guys really think they matter? Do these guys really think their opinion's important?
It's that, or it's a child with a tablet and they just left it running.
You know what?
It's one or the other. No in between.
We don't make content for children. We're GA here. Actually, probably closer to PG-13. I like to use occasional strong verbiage, but I just go ahead. Leave the kids unattended here. You're not going to hear the F words. You might hear an S word here or there. But
yes,
shameless trying to get more view time.
I do want to say, if you are somebody that just adores looking at draft picks, you should absolutely go look at the Arizona Coyotes draft pick list. I cannot believe that Bill Armstrong has pulled this amount of assets in. So 2024, he's got 3 more second-round picks, 3 more, or sorry. So let me clarify. When I say 3 more, I should say 3 because one of them is our own. So in 2024, we have 3 second-round picks, 3 third-round picks, and 2 fourth-round picks. That is insane. Like, he just continues to just stockpile draft picks. I'm dumbfounded.
It shows they're actually committed to a rebuild.
Yeah.
It shows that they're not just saying that, and that's why I have a lot of confidence in him. He's showing with his actions. Connor Geeky at 11. I'm gonna just say this is probably a B plus. The only reason I'm not saying it's an A is because there are still some concerns. Obviously, it just depends on where you projected him, where you thought he was gonna go. If that was the only dance partner you had, because let's say he only was gonna go 18th, just as an example, random number pulled from my behind. Let's just say you knew he was gonna go 18th, but you couldn't get anywhere closer, so you just take him at 11. I still think there's holes in the game, like you mentioned. Some things he needs to get stronger at, some things he needs to improve on. Using that frame, if he does, you could have even like a Lawson Krause type, like almost power forward. I don't want him to be a pure power forward. They usually have a shorter shelf life. But if you use the frame, hey, you're not gonna pull a Martin Hansel where someone keeps cross checking your back and you're not gonna do anything about it. So use it. Get a little bit of a meanness in the game. That I'm no complaints there. If we can just do that. So I'm just gonna say it's a B plus because there are some concerns, and there is a legitimate argument that maybe he could have gone somewhere else. But also, you see him at 11. That's the guy you wanted. You take him. So that's all. I'll give that a B plus.
Yep.
And then
wait.
Maverick.
I want to say.
Sorry.
I want to talk.
apologize.
If he does turn out to be, like, let's say, a slightly worsened version of Joe Thornton, that is an absolute W at 11 overall. Just saying.
Yeah.
And I think that he has the potential, the vision, the hands, the passing are really good on him. He just needs to get a little bit faster, and he just needs to use that physicality a little bit more.
So, and then Maverick Lamoureux, I am going to I'm gonna give that one an A plus for balls.
Yeah.
just the willingness to look at this frame. On top of that, a lot of these projections, hey, this guy's supposed to go here, go there. Yeah, you have the final projections like the day of the draft, but a lot of them are primarily what was their expectations going into the season? How do they play throughout that last season? How do they play in this playoff or this like side tournament or stuff they were doing, World Juniors, whatever. A lot of the times they don't focus that much on the combine because they might factor in, oh, well, these guys might have just not cared that much because they already knew their draft stock. These guys might have tried to raise it, so they try harder. I don't care if it's only an obscure metric he was number 1 in. If he's going to work that hard and show that there is something there, that shows teams you can work with this. And just the willingness to swing for the fences, the willingness to be like, you know what, we'll move up a couple spots and we'll just take him. Brad Lambert's right there. That probably, again, zero insider information. This is all just pure speculation. I could assume someone like BA would be like, yeah, if we pick Lambert, the fans will probably be happy. That's probably a solid pick. Mm-hmm. We're going to swing. We are going to step up to the plate, and we are going to swing, and that's why I like it, because even if he busts, even if he never plays even an AHL game, just God forbid, never even makes that, the fact that they had the balls to do it, and they had the extra assets to do it, that's why I give it an A+. Not because this advanced analytic, not because, oh, it's such an immense value, but because they were willing to do it. And if it pays off, it could pay off well.
Yeah, I think that the for that late pick, Brad Lambert would be your consistent hitter, and then your Maverick Lamoureux pick would be like you're swinging for the fences. You're a power hitter, and I agree with you. I would call it probably about a B-. I think that it was probably a bit high, but if you feel like somebody was about to pick him, then I understand. Overall, I think he's gonna hopefully make it. I think there's still a lot to his game that needs to get polished and worked on. But once again, you cannot teach size. 6'7", he is going to build into that frame. He's going to be physically a beast, considering that he is already, statistically, he was number 1 in the combine. And he is still, in my opinion, very lanky and still needs to fill into that frame. I think he will be a monster physically. So that is always great to see. I don't see him being a first or second line guy. He will be a third line guy, and he will eat people.
And especially, I really want to highlight this. I hate that I forgot the player name, but you'll probably remind me, one of our draft picks. I love this quote. It's not an original quote, but I love the people that will say this quote, is that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Farinacci. John Farinacci.
John Farinacci.
From Farinacci's dad, yep.
I still hope that kid makes it through the system. I think he should be coming. He should be making a Tucson spot in the next year or so if he ends up making it through the system.
I think he's got one more year of college, and then he'll be. I think then he'll play in either Tucson or the NHL. Yeah, Farinacci. His quote was really great.
And especially, like I said, that's why I value this so much, is because if you're willing to bust your ass, if you are willing to show you're going to work hard, and you have these physical attributes you can't teach, because, again, skating, hand-eye coordination, to an extent, it depends on individual people, hockey IQ, you can teach all of that. You cannot teach the drive to work hard. You cannot teach 6'7". I've been trying for years. I'm never gonna go above 5'8" or whatever the hell I am. 5'7", whatever.
You can't teach wingspan. Wingspan is very important to a defenseman. I don't care how quick you are at skating, as long as you teach a 6'7" skater, hey, don't get beat, back up more, and then you teach them better with timing, as people are entering the blue line, and how to physically poke check them and stuff like that. Like, hard to beat. Look at Zdeno Chara. He's 40-something years old, and he's still in the NHL. Why is it? It's hard to beat. It is very hard for a skater to skate through that wingspan without getting poke checked or pushed off the puck.